Hello and welcome. I'm super excited to show off the new washi adhesive sheets by High Supply. So if you are not familiar with these, they are fabulous. You can do so much with them. And there are three new color packs designs that you can get. I'll show you some of the previous ones too. Some of them are very open, so I'm not going to be able to show you full sets because one of the really cool things about each of these packs is that you get 20 sheets of 6x6 adhesive washi sheets that are all different. So it's really fabulous. It's going to be so hard to pick and choose what to use because you don't have any duplicates. But what that really means though is that you have a lot of choices and you have a lot of variety, which I really, really love. Now, I'm going to flip through each of these and tell you a little bit more about washi because washi is really something different. It's if you've ever seen, Victor at High Supply shared with me a video that shows a gentleman who I think he visited a farm where they actually farm and process the very specific tree pulp and trees and tree pulp that is actually used to make washi. And it was really fascinating. It sent me down a whole rabbit hole about washi and how it's made, and it was really, really fabulous. I learned quite a lot. It's a labor of love. I mean, these are handmade, and it's got this beautiful, beautiful translucent texture to it, very similar to washi tape, if you are familiar with that. But these have an entire 6x6 sheet, and the entire sheet is actually really, really fabulous and has an adhesive back to it and everything. So you can see all of these gorgeous, gorgeous colors, but it's a little bit translucent. You can kind of see my hand as I pass it behind. And that's what makes washi really, really great fun to work with because you do have a lot of different options. You can play with that translucency and work it into your design. So imagine maybe adhering this sheet onto some acetate and then using that sort of transparency nature of the washi combined with, acetate, which is clear, and then creating a nice design where it's almost like you have a glass-like look to it. So I think that's a lot of fun. The possibilities are endless. For some of these designs, it works really well. If you do want to cut it into strips, you can use it like a washi tape almost. But what's great about this being 6x6 like this is if you wanted, you could adhere this onto maybe some cardstock and then die cut out of it and use it just like you would maybe a patterned paper. Because it's translucent, you can actually pick and choose what you adhere it to. And that might actually alter how it looks a little bit. So for example, if I put this against black, it looks like that. But if I put it against white, it looks like that. So you can kind of change the look of what you see by playing around with the various different things that you adhere it to. So I could even bring in some orange cardstock and get another look altogether. See how different that looks? Like in this, the orange slices, lemon slices, it really makes that pop, right? Because we've got orange behind there, so it just kind of reinforces that color. But if you look here, it really that this cream color cardstock, it just really neutralizes and makes everything very bright and vibrant. Here we've put black behind it, and so it does help to tone things down a little bit. And let's see, I've got a bit of green. If I put green behind this, then you can see all of a sudden it makes the green leaves really pop. So you can see that you can create different looks just from the exact same washi. Because it has that translucency to it, it gives you some different looks, and you can play with that. You can explore that and experiment with it and see what all effects you can create from it. So this is the lemons set. Really, really gorgeous, fabulous, so fresh and vibrant as we head into summer here. So I think it's well timed, this release. And I did open this up earlier, and I organized it specifically in this way so that you could see the spectrum of what you get. We have some basic, solid, or not solid, but just basic small repeat patterns. You have some prints that are light, and then some prints that are darker. So I love that whole spectrum that you get. Really, really fabulous. Next up, let me show you the Ladybugs. This is a really, really sweet collection here. And again, I have pre-sorted these a little bit. And so, but this one is a little bit different to what you've seen in that previous one. This just is chock full of really fun ladybug designs. And so you can kind of see all these really lovely prints here. What I do love about this is that there's a good mix of kind of like size of print and the color of it, because you can see this one's smaller, this is a slightly larger print. This one feels very random, where this one you can very easily see in some of these, like the repeat pattern. And then we get into some that are have a little bit more of a solid fill to them. So these are more of a solid pink background. And we have a lot of different variations of ladybugs with flowers. So you have those as a set. And then we're going to get into just some patterns. So the wonderful thing about how this has been designed is that there are different patterns and a really good mix. So that just like a good paper pad, there's going to be your sort of your patterns and solids, just to take a phrase from Graphic 45. And then there's your actual, prints and those designs. So that's what I really feel like High Supply is kind of hit on that a little bit. So here we've got some solids, but these solids are more of a watercolor effect. They're not really quite solid, which I love, because that means that you get a little bit of subtle texture and variation. Here you've got some repeat patterns that you can kind of treat these, as a little bit of just extra accent without it adding too much busyness. And then you've got a huge array of different prints, different patterns. So really, really love that. This is the Ladybugs set. And again, 20 sheets of adhesive washi sheets, 6x6 in size, and all unique patterns in each of them. So all 20 sheets are going to be different. Now this one, I know if you watch my live streams, you might think I'm not overly wowed about it, but this one is called Neon Watercolors, and it's really, really fabulous. If you know from Pick Skipper Craft, neon, probably not my most favorite class of colors, but surprisingly enough, I actually have a lot of things neon, so I'm very prepared whenever that comes up in Pick Skipper Craft. And this one I really love quite a lot, because I did go through and sort this out very specifically, because check it out. So for each colorway, we have the same 4 prints. And so you have your watercolor. All of them have a very watercolor effect, but then you have maybe a solid block of watercolor, a plaid, a stripe, and a polka dot. So look at all these gorgeous, gorgeous colors. I don't know that this classifies. I don't know that these are neon. Because I like them a lot. I like all of these colors a lot. But maybe this green, this green might be a little bit on the neon side, but my favorite Spellbinders cardstock is, I think it's called Peridot, and it's very close to this in color, maybe a little bit more yellowish, but I love it a lot, and I will not concede that that is a neon. So check out this. You have 5 different colorways, and in each of the 5 different colorways, there are 4 of the same patterns. So they form a set. And what's really great about this is that let's bring on the, if we flip back to, say, lemons, for example, you can kind of see if I want to use this pattern, but maybe I'd like to combine it with another pattern that is not going to distract too much from it. Look how well this can go with the watercolor neons here. You could pull any of these in the green colorway and combine it with this print, and I think it would look really, really lovely. So you might be able to use this watercolor neon set. I mean, this is one that I would maybe stock up on because it does have so many colors that hopefully will match a lot of the other even pattern paper packs that you have, but definitely these other washi sets. So you can see in the Ladybug set, there were some of these watercolor sort of solid panels. And the reason for that is because some of these prints do have the yellows, the greens, and this one has a little bit of that sort of a turquoise blue. So check that out. Look how great those go together. And so you can kind of pick up on, you know, what colors are in these and maybe see if you can find, here's another one with some of that blue. Even though they're not in the same set, you might be able to find some coordinating colors that will complement patterns in other sets. So I really think that the watercolor neon or neon watercolor set is really great for that, because it's a lot of your basics. Like this would be the equivalent of the Graphic 45 patterns and solids. So really, really wonderful. Love this. And I think this one's going to be a little bit of a staple for me because I can see myself kind of reaching for this quite a lot just to find, you know, those complementary colors to go with others. Now, those are the 3 new ones. So you have Ladybugs, neon watercolor, and lemons. And if you missed them, previously released on High Supply. This one might be full because I bought 2 of these. So hopefully I'm grabbing the one that I haven't used yet. This is Inky alcohol. So check out all of these fabulous, that looks just like an alcohol ink background, but how effortless. It's super, super gorgeous. It even has some of that like metallic in them. Really, really fabulous. The marbling is just gorgeous. And I wouldn't be able to make these myself. Look at how stunning that is. But the thing is that you can actually look at these, and even though you can't necessarily like replicate any alcohol ink background 100%, oh, this is gorgeous. You could actually use these as inspiration, because if you have alcohol inks and you kind of want to play with them a little bit to see, you know, what you can make, I mean, this is a really fabulous place to get some inspiration too. But if you don't have any alcohol inks, it's even more perfect because then you don't even have to worry about that. You can just use them right out of the pack. Now, this one I know I've crafted with. This is another one that's gorgeous. It's Watercolor Florals. So you're not going to be able to see a full set here because, like I mentioned, these, you only got one of each. So, I know I've crafted with this, so this isn't going to be a full pack. But see how gorgeous that is? Now, take for instance, if we have that, now let's bring on our watercolor neons. You could maybe use a little bit of the green there. It's not an exact match, but you could take some, look at that, looks really nice. The blues might work. I see some purples in that pattern, so let's see what happens when we bring some of the purple on. Look at that. So it really starts to kind of bring out and accent a particular color in your design when you... Oh, that's a nice match between those two. So look how wonderful this pack is, the neon watercolor. I think it's really, really gorgeous. And so this one's Watercolor Florals, which every design is just so beautiful, really soft, really pretty. These are super, super smooth. Super smooth. And so what's really fabulous about that is that if you want to maybe apply this to a cardstock that maybe isn't your smoothest cardstock, you can then actually glimmer or hot foil onto it, because I wouldn't necessarily hot foil onto a design as gorgeous as these florals, but maybe some of the neon watercolor ones, because usually foiling it is much more successful on a really smooth cardstock. But if you don't have a super smooth cardstock, but you still want to foil, maybe try foiling onto this. Now, these washi sheets, they are thin, because it is like washi after all, because you can tear it and get all of that really nice effect of that torn look if you want. So what you would want to do, and I haven't tried this yet myself, but I will, and I'll show you some, I'll craft with this and show you some different ideas for what you can do with it. But you could just attach a full sheet to maybe some cardstock that you have, and then foil that so that you have that nice smooth surface to foil onto. So this one is Silky Sakura, and again, I've crafted with this, so so this isn't going to be a full sheet. Now this is the print here is really, really subtle, and this is going to be really fabulous for your weddings. Like, imagine putting this either onto some vellum or onto some acetate, and maybe hot foiling a monogram onto it. I think that would be really lovely. So, you know, it could be a really nice way to commemorate or make a wedding invitation. Especially if it's a small wedding and maybe these are invites to the wedding party. And so you're not having to mass produce them. And then that way everybody gets a bit like almost a custom invitation. You can monogram their initial onto the invite, and it just creates something that's like a little bit of a keepsake unto itself, and makes it something a little bit extra special for them. So that is the Silky Sakura, and at the time that I am recording this, these previous releases that I'm showing, they are still available for sale, and so you should be able to find these on the website. So there's those. I don't have them all. I have most of them though, because I'm a big fan. And then this one I had to pick up. So this one is the bees. I love this. I've crafted with this, so it's not going to be full. But let me give you a little flip through of it. So here we have, see, I've like done a torn edge there. These are just so pretty. And you could probably, like, if you look at the orange, you know, there's some orange, there's some solid yellows, there are your patterns and solids, so to speak. But again, looking at that orange, I can see straight away that the orange, the green, you know, that might be you could find some of the neon watercolor. This has a touch of the blues. You could probably bring in some of that aqua or the turquoise to really accent or highlight some of the blues in here. Really lovely. So sweet. And then here you get into the patterns, and then a couple of your solids. Really well designed. I mean, I really love how these have been designed, curated, and put together. Because as a set, I feel like you kind of have everything that you need. You've got some patterns, you've got some solids to complement. So it's really lovely. So that is a look at the newest in the line of 6x6 adhesive washi sheets. So check out High Supply. These 4 are live and available for purchase. These were the previous releases. There might be others as well, but these are the ones that I have. And coming soon will be these 3 new sets. So you have Lemon, Ladybug, and perhaps my favorite is the neon watercolor, because I feel like with these general patterns and solids, this is going to be so useful. It's going to be so useful to have a couple of these, and then that way you can really complement a lot of the other designs. So stay tuned for more videos where I craft with these washi sheets and share with you some different things that you can do with them. Thanks for catching this video, and until next time, happy crafting and have a fabulous day. Bye!